Hi YouTube, this is Kristen Moonrise. Welcome back to my channel, and I am a light worker and astrologer. And today, again, I will talk about tonight's full moon in Sagittarius. If you're in the US, it'll happen tonight. If you're perhaps in the UK, it will be in the early morning of June 4th. So today we're going to do a moon chart, which is basically all the placements, or moon profile essentially, which is all of the moon placements in the natal chart. And we're going to put it as if this was a fictional person that is born at the time of the full moon in Sagittarius and at a particular time and location. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. One moment. So this is the fictional person that I named it to be is named Terry Archer. She's a lady because she's a Sagittarius, and a Sagittarius is an archer. So I thought that was hilarious. I just came up with it on the spot. If this has already been done, sorry I missed it, but I thought it was funny. So hopefully you think it's funny too. So I saw that the full moon in Houston, which is where I live, which is why I picked this town, it can happen as early as, when it's at its fullest, as early as 10:29 p.m. or as late as 10:41 p.m. I saw a different time, so I just put it right in the middle, 10:35 p.m. So we're going to do Terry Archer's moon placement. We're going to do a moon review of her as if, she were an adult 20, 30 years from now, looking at her chart and at the time of her being born at the Sagittarius new moon, June 3rd, 2023 in Houston, Texas. So this is what it will look like, what the moon looks like at the time of her birth. It still looks as if it is in the constellation of Scorpio, but technically when it is outside of one sign, it is already into the next. So it's only 13 degrees into Sagittarius, so there's more room there. So here's Terry Archer's chart. As we see here, the moon is in 13 degrees of Sagittarius in the 11th house, and directly as every full moon is directly across from the sun, which is in 13 degrees of Gemini here in Houston, Texas. So, and just if I haven't explained it before, if you don't know, the every new moon is going to always follow the sun. So let's say, like, if I were doing the new moon, which I will do in a few weeks, the new moon in Gemini will also be at the same degree of the sun at that particular time. So the new moon is always here, the full moon is always on the opposite side. And that's why I really, my favorite time of day is in the evening as the sun is setting on the full moon, and you see the sun setting on one side and the full moon is rising. You look right across, and I really love like that big full moon taking over the sky, the night sky, as the sun sets and it rises. I absolutely love that. It's my favorite. So in addition to the moon placements, we will look at the nodes here. And we will also look at the black moon Lilith here. And we're going to pay attention to these houses, the signs that the nodes and Lilith is in. But to be born on a full moon, these are the attributes of someone that would be born on a full moon, any full moon. So since Terry is born on a full moon, these would be her traits. So as you saw in the previous slide, the sun is opposite the moon, which means that there's going to be heavy logic versus emotion with Terry, even on a heightened level. I think we all have experienced extreme logic versus emotion with us, heart versus brain. We've all experienced that to, significant degrees, but with someone born on a full moon, it's heightened. It's almost maybe perhaps debilitating for them. So this means that they have multiple desires pulling in different directions, where a lot of us may be able to kind of, compartmentalize our desires. Terry may not be able to do so. So she can be seen as inconsistent or indecisive. But her unpredictability can be a positive in very dull situations. And honestly, back to perhaps her being seen as inconsistent and indecisive, Terry may actually perhaps be a person that may be hard to keep a job to. I kind of see that those energies in someone that was perhaps born on a full moon. But like it says here, her unpredictability can be a positive in dull situations. So things that she has to learn is to not suppress her emotional side, as the world that we live in wants you to be super logical and wants you to suppress your emotions, and your emotions are silly. We don't want Lilith to do that. We don't want her to feel shame about her emotions, especially as she may really be one to explode a lot, but we don't want her to really suppress them or deaden them either. So she should definitely, what she should do is tune into the rhythms that she feels. As those born on a full moon, she can tune into rhythms that she feels internally, that she feels terrestrially, that she feels celestially. There's rhythms everywhere, and she is very sensitive to all of them. So she should tune into those rhythms. And so her life journey includes balancing her emotional extremes. Okay, so every one of us is, at least according to our moon, we have a life movie that we are playing out. And for Terry here, her movie, her moon is in the 11th house. And so the movie is house of friends and hopes and wishes, which is Aquarius energy, as Aquarius is the 11th sign of the zodiac. So that's what the theme of this movie is about friends and hopes and wishes. So what that details is long-term dreams, goals, involvement with groups and organizations, friends and acquaintances. The ability to enjoy other people is a big theme of this movie. And individual expression, idealism, and vision is definitely this movie, these themes, and that's very Aquarian energy. So the character that Terry is playing in this movie of friends and hopes and wishes is Sagittarius, and the character expresses her Sagittarian energy by being warm, spontaneous, enthusiastic, bold, jovial, generous. She's a teacher. She disseminates knowledge. She's curious. She's expansive. She's a free thinker, and she's prophetic. So I think that these are really, really great energies, this Aquarian energy of, being friendly and engaging with other people, and the Sagittarius energy with being bold and taking on new initiatives and being a teacher and learning and being a teacher, exploratory. Like these are really, really great energies to really work together. So it seems like overall, we can definitely say that on the outside, Terry is successful. She is going really, really well. Her energy and her character in this movie is blending really well. So it starts off a good movie and it ends as a good movie. So now we go into the primal nature of Terry, which is represented. We all have this in our sign, in our charts, a black moon Lilith. And as you may remember in the creation story, Lilith is or was Adam's first wife in the Garden of Eden, but she did not want to submit to Adam, and she was blacklisted, I guess you can say. And so she was banished, or she ran off. I can't really remember. I know that there are different versions of the Lilith story, but pretty much she was definitely shunned and shamed with her sexual energy, with her feminine energy. It was something that by her, like they say, she was considered to be the first feminist. She was definitely shunned for wanting to really stand up for herself. And that's where Eve comes in and is, that submissive type of feminine energy that we all feel or have been told in some way is the right way to be feminine. But Lilith, I will quote this quote by Adama Sese. I'm sorry if I'm butchering her name. Lilith, our sign in Lilith our Black Moon Lilith is about unveiling and embracing. Lilith's mission was to speak her truth and own her true power. And when we experience crises, we can find our strength and alchemize limiting beliefs that are not serving us. Profound growth and transformation can emerge from understanding our shadow selves. So here, where you deal with rejection, grief, shame, strife, and sexuality and femininity is where you will find your Black Moon Lilith, is where you've had to overcome and step into your power at some point in your life. So for Terry, her Black Moon Lilith is in Leo in the 7th house, which is the house of marriage and partnerships. And these can also include business or legal partnerships. So in short, Terry absolutely wants to be in a long-term relationship and marriage, but doesn't trust herself and runs away from commitment due to having negative examples of love growing up. She is best fit with a partner who doesn't see her flaws and admires her bold Leo energy, as her Lilith is in Leo in the 7th house, as she may be the bolder, flamboyant of the two in the relationship. So I totally see Terry as like, if she's not super tall and perhaps even taller than her partner, she's got a bold physique. She's got a like, you can't miss her. She's not going to be hiding or anything. She's out there. Her hair may be kind of wild. She may actually be quite colorful. But she doesn't totally trust masculinity here. So I feel that if she's in a heterosexual relationship, I feel that her partner would be a best partner would be a very solid masculine energy partner that perhaps could be, a very solid, career. He's got a solid, appearance. He doesn't get shaken too easily. He is her rock. So she needs him to definitely be her rock. So he may live a monotonous life, but he absolutely loves her, indecisiveness in some ways. He loves that she's all over the place, that she's colorful, she's bright, she laughs, she's up, she's down, she's crying the next minute. So he really likes that emotion that she has, and he doesn't see that as flaws. She brings color and life into his life as he is looking for that. I absolutely see this in Terry if this was a real person. So now we will go into the karmic expressions that are represented in the lunar nodes on the chart. So the lunar nodes are a pair of points that speak of positive qualities you need to develop in this lifetime, which is represented by the North Node, or the dragon's head, and negative qualities you brought into this lifetime from previous lifetimes that you need to release before you have to start it all over again in the next lifetime. And that is represented by the by the South Node, or the dragon's tail. And in classical astrology, this is considered a celestial dragon. So you've got up, down, and then the tail. So as for Terry, she's got her North Node in the 4th house, which is Cancer energy, as Cancer is the 4th sign of the zodiac. So what Terry needs to develop in this lifetime is to be emotionally strong. And as we see that, that's very, very interesting, because we saw that she was emotionally all over the place. So she needs to be really solid in her emotions. That's what she has to develop in this lifetime. So she also should be loyal, because she likes to run away from relationships. But she needs to be nurturing. She needs to be family oriented and forget maybe what she experienced in the past as she grew up. She needs to focus on what she wants to cultivate in this lifetime now, as what happened to her or what she saw does not have to be her future. So yes, emotionally strong, loyal, nurturing, family-oriented, and home-loving, deep understanding of others' feelings. That's very Cancerian energy. So that means her South Node is going to be in the 10th house, which is in Capricorn energy. So Capricorn, so by the way, Cancer is a water sign, Capricorn is an earth sign. So what the negative traits that Terry should let go of in this lifetime so she won't carry into the next lifetime is she needs to get rid of being stingy, withdrawn, gruff, a grumbler, egotistical, pushy, power hungry, greedy for success, ruthless. She really needs to get rid of all that nastiness. That is her worst qualities that's showing up karmically in her chart. So I borrowed some of the journaling questions that I used in my previous video on this full moon in Sagittarius here. So I think these are really good questions to ask yourself any full moon or even in any new moon, but these are specific to Sagittarius, as Sagittarius is about going on that journey, conquering your goals, getting up, getting moving, exploring, really getting up from that stagnant energy, getting up and getting it done. So, as Sagittarius is a fire sign, fire masculine sign, very much like Aries in that way, but just in a more inquisitive, learning way, and not so gruff as Aries is. So, and not as egotistical as Leo. So, are your current beliefs systems serving you? You really have to ask yourself that. What is the bigger picture, goal, or desire you're wanting to achieve? And how will you set out to accomplish your mission? We won't say, how are you going to get it done? You don't necessarily know that yet. You may think you know how you want to get it done, but you won't know until you start the journey. So how will you at least set out? What is at least your starting plan? How are you going to put your right foot in front of your left foot? What's the first step you're willing to take? That you can at least plan. So wrapping up, before I get to this, I wanted to say that there is actually another aspect or moon placement of the primal nature that is in addition to Lilith on the chart. Actually, it's not really visible on the chart, on a typical chart, but I did not include that. I purposely left that out of this particular video. So yeah, this is another aspect or moon placement of your primal nature that's in addition to Lilith. So this basically tells you where you can find in your chart how to use your dark feminine energies to your advantage. Basically the ones that you were born with, the ones that come naturally to you. You can figure out where that is in your chart, and you actually use it to your advantage. It's not wounded dark feminine energy like Lilith, but it's an empowered energy. But you have to humble and refine it as it is a strength of yours, but you don't want it to become dark. So if you would like actually to know what that is in your personal chart, I can have that for you included if you would like a personal moon report, like I did with this one, similar to this, but even going into more detail on each one of the, whether it be the nodes or the black moon Lilith, and the additional dark feminine that is also in there. And so I've got my information here. You can email me. Here's my two form of payments that I also take, Cash App and PayPal, as I get my website situated. I'll leave all of this in the description box. So if you would like a moon report, a personalized moon report, email me there. I also would need your name, birth date, birth time, and birthplace. And you can choose either if you just want the report, and I can just send that back to you, or the report and also a moonlight session with me, which is basically a one-on-one session where we can go over it. And if you want anything explained, have any questions to ask about it, you can also book that with me too. I did not include the pricing on here because if somebody were to see this video in the future, it would not be the same price perhaps. So I would definitely say email me and we can talk about pricing there. And so these would, if you do decide to do a session with me, this would either be over the phone or over Zoom, or perhaps even email if that may be easier for you, but at least phone or Zoom, as that's an actual session that we are having with personalized questions and anything that you would like answered about this moon report. Also, I do have it, let me see, let me actually stop sharing my screen. I do also have a moon course online that is linked below. It's called Embody the Moon. And this is a great course, as it has you embody all of the different signs that each of the full and new moons that we see throughout the year. So if you have any issues with like relationships or health or money or career, any type of spiritual issues you may have, there is a theme that every moon or every new or full moon that can help you work through whatever blockages you may have. So in the course, it includes more attributes about the sign in particular and its relationship to either being a full or new moon. How to set up your ritual space so you can do rituals for every new and full moon that we get. Energetic messages about the sign. So what is the sign and that moon trying to tell you? Journaling questions about money, relationships, career, spiritual advice, or health blocks. So if you need to journal on any of those topics plus more, that moon has got it for you. And I've got at least 5 journaling questions for each one. So each and every moon has a different set of journaling questions that you would really need to go deep into and really ask yourself. So it's all about transforming yourself, really looking deepward and inward about your own behaviors. And this course is perfect for that. It also includes some healing lightwork sessions. So healing words about things that about the themes of the moon. So if it's like Aries energy, you're too much, let's do some healing energy on that Aries energy that you have, or some good words of setting you off on that new journey that Aries would then be leading you into. And also it includes 2 light sessions with me where you can work with me one-on-one if you've got any questions about oh, I'm struggling with this particular, issue, and I've been working on it with this moon, but I still am kind of stuck. I like to work with you, Kristen, on how do I get unstuck there. And so that is also available. So this is a very jam-packed course. I think it's great for anybody. It's good for anyone that is just starting on their spiritual journey and they need some type of structure. And that's what I really love about the cycles of the moon, is that you will always have that structure and they always have their own particular themes and messages to you. Or this is also good for those of us that have been on their spiritual journeys for a while, but we would like to incorporate more of the moon into our everyday rituals, or just deciding to kind of just get in tune with the moon and setting up your altar specifically for the moon and getting more in tune with what those attributes are with each sign. So I hope that you definitely enjoyed this video. I hope that you will take advantage of these energies, in particular this full moon in Sagittarius, really getting out there, being exploratory. And let me know in the comments if you resonated with any of this. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.